So let's go from standard to slope-intercept first. And we'll get a good model of this. Okay. And we went over this yesterday, that if you don't like doing the algebra step, there's two ways to do this. Let me write this further down so it looks better. There's two ways to show your work on this. One way is to do this. And one way is to do this. Okay. Both ways will get you the same answer. It just might make different sense to different people. So that's not done yet, but that's that line. This line would end up being 4y minus 2x equals 16 also. This is the switch sides, switch signs. This is, well, the actual algebra way to do it, where you cancel out that to move it over. So either way you get it, do it. And then we're just going to divide by 4, divide by 4, divide by 4. You can't leave it negative 2 over 4. You got to reduce it to negative 1/2 x plus 4. Okay, and of course this is going to be the same answer. The only difference is this first step. Okay, so that's that, and that's as hard as it gets, right? Because it's going to start in standard form every time. So we know standard form is never going to have fractions in any of these numbers. And this is always going to be a positive. And so that's it. Hopefully you've gotten this by now. We've done this a lot. This new thing that we did yesterday, we haven't done very much, so I'm going to spend more time doing that. This is going to be in slope-intercept. Y equals 5/7 x minus 2. I need to change this one. Let's draw a line just to make it more fancy. That's not a great line. All right. I need to change this guy from slope-intercept to standard form. Okay. First step is what? Do we remember? I gave you 3 steps, I think, yesterday, although order doesn't really matter. You can kind of do them in any order you want, which is both good and bad. I like to get rid of the fraction first, because I just don't like having fractions. So that's what I like to do first. There's other ways to do things first. You can move it first, but I like to get rid of the fraction first. And what do I multiply everything by to get rid of the fraction?
7.
By the denominator. And if you have multiple denominators, you just start with 1. And then if you still have a denominator afterwards, you kill it. Probably in this class, we're just going to have one denominator. It's usually going to be right here for the slope. So this will end up being 7y equals 5x minus 14. Okay? If you do this right, this will always equal an integer, because we're trying to kill that fraction. Okay, now I like to move things, and again, you can move things either way. This is supposed to go out here, switch sides, switch signs. Okay, that is not a legal standard form. That has to be positive. And so to make that positive, I just multiply everything by negative 1. Negative 1 times negative 5 is positive. Right? That's it. I'm not saying it's easy. but that is it. All right, let's try one more, and then I'm going to let you do some problems. Okay? Is this always going to start with y? Is it ever going to have a number in front of it? Did slope-intercept form ever have a number in front of y? Okay? So just get used to it. It's going to look the same because we're going from one form to another. And if you can identify the form, you can identify how to do it. Let's make this a negative 2/3 x plus 7. Try to do it on your own. Figure out what to do first. You might want to move it first. That's okay. You might want to get rid of the fraction first. That's also okay. Eventually on the test, we're just going to have a big old list of stuff. Here's some slope-intercept forms. Change them into these things. Here's some standard forms. Change them into these things. Here's some point-slope forms. Change them into these things. So by the end of this, hopefully you can change anything into anything else. This is a lot like when we did the little equations in chapter 1, except for it's more specific to just one thing, to graphing. All right, what did I multiply all these by? 3. So don't make this hard, because you're just identifying this one little fraction, 3. All right, so that makes this 21. That makes this negative 2x. That makes this 3y. Now I just move things, right? I want this guy to be in front. Switch sides, switch signs. I guess that's pretty much going to be done then. Just move that over there. So that's 2x plus 3y equals 21. And remember, that form is ax plus by equals c. So a is a number, b is a number, c is a number. No fractions, no decimals. A is positive. That passes the test.